So, Mel, you and I have known each other a very long time.
Very long time, yes.
And one day you weren't pregnant, and the next day you had a baby.
Yep. Boom, just like that.
How did that happen?
Well, my husband and I, we had been trying to get pregnant for a couple years, and we had kind of gone a bunch of different avenues, and then we just decided that adoption was what we were going to do, and so we adopted our daughter. So yeah, we were very quiet about the whole process in the beginning, but as soon as she was ours and in our arms and the paperwork was signed, we were very vocal about announcing her birth. So yeah, that's why it seemed like nothing. I wasn't pregnant, and then I had a baby. So yeah,
I literally went back on your Instagram and looked through every photo, and I'm like, nope, not pregnant, not pregnant, not pregnant. Baby, explain that there.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to want to adopt?
So it had been always something I thought about. It was in the back of my mind. My parents had thought about adopting before my mom got pregnant with me. So it had always been in the air, like in my family. And had never seriously thought about it until Justin and I had been trying to get pregnant for a while, and it wasn't happening. And then we went to dinner with a producer of Young and The Restless, and she had adopted her son. And so we kind of left that dinner, and that their story wasn't leaving my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, like maybe this is something we should be doing. Mm-hmm. And then do you ever listen to Dr. Laura?
I listen to Dr. Laura all the time. I love Dr. Laura. She's on in my car right now.
I was listening to her on the way here. She's like my favorite. And so I was like driving home from work, and I was like, should we do this? Should we do this? Like, Greg has told me about this person that's adopted, and all of these people are wanting to help us, and like praying about it. My SM radio, or XM, whatever you call it, radio cuts out. I was like listening to Dr. Laura, and it cut out for like 2 minutes, which is so weird because it's never happened before. Normally it's like a second, then it comes back. And I was just praying, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to turn it to another station. So I turned to another station, and then I was like, God, if this is what you want us to do, please just like let me know, like just give me a sign. I turned it back to Dr. Laura, and her first thing that she said was, I have a note from a listener that wanted to thank me for helping them decide to adopt.
I have the chills.
I started bawling.
I have goosebumps. Oh my God.
It was the craziest thing ever, because I literally was like, if this is what we should do, like please, like just give me a sign, just one sign. And so then the call, whatever note she was reading, was like an email from a listener, had adopted their son, and he was thanking Dr. Laura because she had said that was like a great option for his family. And that he was like, he might not be my blood, but he is 100% my son, and it is the best thing that we have ever done in our whole lives. And so I called my husband. I was on Laurel Canyon, and I was like, we're adopting!
And I think what's really beautiful is there's a lot of people that I know, and certainly we've talked about it before, is just because you may not be able to have children doesn't make you less of a woman. That might not be the ultimate job. You know, you'll have your own path, and if you want kids, great, and if you adopt, wonderful, and if you don't want to have kids, that's you. Like I said, it's your path, but again, that doesn't make you less of a woman.
I mean, there are a lot of people right now who don't want to have kids just because of the state that the world is in right now. You know, another thing that's like really present in my life at the moment is the question of, when are you going to have a baby? And, you know, before we got engaged, it was, when are you going to get engaged? And then when you and it's always the next thing, thing. And there's a lot of pressure, I feel like, on women, especially once you hit 30 and you're going into your 30s, to have a baby because of the timeline. And now we're lucky that we live in a time where you can freeze your eggs, and it's so common, and people are doing it all the time. But I remember asking someone, you know, just like nicely, like, oh, are you gonna have kids? And she got really emotional, and it was a very touchy subject, and she can't have kids. And I felt like such a horrible person for asking that question and bringing it up. And it made me go, like, I will never ask anyone whether they're getting engaged, getting married, or because it doesn't feel good to have to bring up whatever it is that they're battling. But the truth of the matter is that everybody, like you said, they may have their struggles, but you're going to find your path to motherhood, however way that is.
I mean, it's right after. You can't have that area where it's like, you know, you're preparing for a wedding, and then right after you say I do, the next thing is, when are you having kids? And which is so crazy, if it is tough for you to get pregnant, you know, you'll have all these pressures of, when are you getting pregnant, when are you having children, what school are you going to bring your child to, blah, 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 blah. But when you're trying to conceive, you need to be so relaxed, so calm. And that's the easiest way you'll have a baby. You're like, I can't do this.
I guess to sum everything up, what's so great about this is that the three of us, being good friends, could sit down and really have a real conversation about this, knowing that all three of us are kind of at different stages in our lives. You chose adoption at the moment, and who knows where your journey is going to take you. Maybe you'll adopt more, maybe you'll you'll have some on your own. You never know. For me, you know, I think that I need to take a lot of pressure off and really just trust that when the time is right, I'll know it's right. And whatever my journey is will be my journey. And there's a lot of options out there, whether things go really smoothly or not. And then for you, Jackie, same thing. When the time is right, everything's going to sort of come together. But the good thing is that we have a great support system, and knowing that, you know, as women, we can all support each other, and that we're not alone in the things that we're going through. And to remember that whether you have a baby naturally or you don't does not define what kind of woman or what kind of mother you are.
Exactly.
And that's something that's really important.
It's really about empowering each other.
So wait, Jackie, when are you having a baby and getting married?
When is that happening? When are you getting engaged?
Oh, great. I thought, right after she has a kid.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking, I don't know, maybe like this summer in Italy.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah.
Maybe?
Oh, maybe.
Okay, I know a girl, and it took a really long time for them to get pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
And their wedding was a disaster. And so